Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot. Now, I did promise not a lot of readings this month, but I really did want to do a reading for the new moon. I don't know why. I've missed the last 2 months of new moons due to my schedule, but I feel like there's something special about this full moon, and I can't tell you why. Once I look at the astrology, I can sort of tell you why, but bear in mind, if you watch Minnow Pond, it's a really good channel, well worth going to watch. He live streams daily at 4 p.m. Eastern. It might be Pacific, but I think it's 4 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, look him up. He's a really good tarot reader, and he calls his astrology Chris's crappy astrology. I have not got such an alliterative name for mine yet. I did think of one, but I've forgotten it. I don't particularly want to go with Dee's Despicable Astrology or anything like that. But anyway, the astrology of this new moon is really interesting. But I have also, I have put a link in the description down below for Kesenya Moore's video this week about the new moon and about the whole week around it, the Sun trine Pluto and leading up to the new moon, which is a great time for making requests. Simple as that. Making requests of the universe. Now, I think that these will go on air on YouTube later than the peak of the Sun trine Pluto that she's talking about, but it doesn't mean that the energies have disappeared if you didn't know about them. It's you just have to put yourself in that Monday frame of mind, but specifically this Monday as I'm filming this right now. So it's a general reading. It's a general reading this time by element, due to time considerations. My apologies. So being a general reading rules apply, you know, timing's far from absolute. If someone else appears in the reading, I can get the who is who mixed up. Roles can be reversed, as they say, but basically the cards don't come with name tags. Timing is not absolute. In a way, Chris Witecki on his show was saying that the Virgo season defines the rest of the year that's going along. I mean, we have those definition points all the time on certain specific items, but the Virgo season helps define certainly the rest of, well, the academic year, you know, if nothing else. Like I say, it will be by element, and my brain has just gone blank. So there'll be a timestamp. That's what I was going to say. There will be a timestamp down below for you to fast forward to the reading if you're one of these people that wants to watch more than one element. Because again, I would say watch your sun, your moon and your rising signs. Obviously your moon, obviously your sun, and really obviously your rising sign, because it was the most important one in ancient astrology. So if you happen to be one of those people who have a different element for each sign, well, you've got a lot of watching to do. But let me dive first into the symbols for this degree. This new moon, occurring on the 17th, is occurring at 25 degrees Virgo. Now, the Chandra symbol for this is an old man counting gold coins. Now, when I saw that, to start off with, I was like, that's nowhere near as... You've heard me in some of my degree readings or some of my other moon readings when I've gone into the degree, and it's been a beautiful and intricate image. But then again, on second thought, so is this one. An old man has a lot of experience. We are talking about the moon conjunct the sun. And the gold coins can certainly represent the sun. They can represent achievements. Gold, if you subscribe to all the tales about the Anunnaki and all of that sort of thing, or monatomic gold, gold can be used to elevate your spiritual vibration. So there's a lot of symbolism implicit in there. Now, all the astrologers are talking about this being a time now for making plans. Despite Mars retrograde that's going on, So it's not maybe a time immediately for enacting on those plans, but it is a time for setting those plans. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to do it. And if that happens, I've got that contingency plan. But they're not really talking about contingency plans so much as just plans. Now, the interpretation of this image is getting your bearings, determining your limits. I mean, let's face it, we've got all that Capricorn energy going on. Finding a reality fix. Now, I love that image, finding a reality fix, because, yeah, we could do with a reality fix, maybe a reality plumber, electrician, fireman. You know, we could do with quite a lot of reality fixing at the moment. So making sure that everything is there, checking out the manifest details over and again, coming down to earth and becoming sober and straight and clear. You are overwhelmingly convinced that there must come this cleaning up and clearing up. Sick and tired of the pretense and hype, hungry to get down to basics, and somewhat hooked on the quantitative intelligence. Blurring distinctions, intent upon being viable, correct, and self-sufficient. If all these things are taken up with a twinkle of humour, they are digestible. But if they become self-serious and a little too proper, they are deadly and sickening. You learn to throw off the attitude and cleave to the substance of getting things right, unapologetically and steadfastly. And, by the sound of that, hopefully with a smile on your face, otherwise it could all go wrong. Now, it's really interesting, this, I've just even noticed this in the interpretation, this coming down to earth and becoming sober and straight and clear. Because if I then click on to my new moon aspects, I notice that the moon is both counter-parallel Neptune and in opposition to Neptune. It's not a huge opposition, it's nearly 6 degrees orb, and it's leaving, but the moon has just come from an opposition of Neptune, and the counter-parallel, where's, I know it exists, where can I see it? That's within 1 1/3 degrees of orb. So it really is positioning itself opposite that Neptune in Pisces, which, as we know, can be great for spirituality and also fantastic for delusions and disappearing up your own backside with how you think the world is, and you know, the perfect definition of a political echo chamber. The other thing is that the moon is parallel to everything that's going on in Aries. Now, it's quincunx Aries, so it's applying quincunx specifically by degree rather than just by sign to Lilith, showing a misunderstanding of Lilith's battle, I think would be a good way to put it. I don't want to dive too much into that one because I'm likely to say something wrong, and that will be Dee's crappy astrology. But it's parallel to Lilith, Chiron. Now there it's showing a point of tension and a point of misunderstanding with the wounds stroke the healing that you are receiving. And maybe with Chiron, with instruction that you are receiving, because this full moon is also square both the north and south node. And if I remember correctly, it is square the galactic center. I know I wrote that down somewhere. So moon... yeah, it's square the galactic center by 1 degree. So the way I interpret that, bear in mind, I am not an astrologer, but the way I interpret that is, for this new moon, we're on our own. Loads of the planets are stationary right now. Saturn is barely moving a degree this month. Pluto is barely moving a degree this month. Mars has just turned retrograde, so it's not really moving very fast yet. So everything's on hold. Everything's standing back. You're on your own. And in a way, that's quite beautiful. It's we are not being pushed or pulled in any particular direction. We're being put in this. I suppose you could say that we ourselves are void of course, if you know what the moon void of course is. The moon is not void. The moon is not void at all. It is coming off of a trine with Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn. Let me see, they are separating, aren't they? So it's stepping away from having a harmonious relationship with that whole Capricorn cluster, Capricorn council, whatever you want to call it. It's had several names on the astrology videos. Not all of them polite, but it's almost like walking away from the restrictions, walking away from in your feelings, walking away from everything that's being hoisted upon us at the moment, to just have a moment in space and go, okay, what am I going to do? Now, you're not going to get to do it now necessarily, but it's a beautiful time to sit and work out what you are going to do. Now, of course, I have a link down there to the Facebook page for this channel, page, group, channel. I get confused with all the different labels, but so for the Facebook page for this channel, now obviously I post these videos, so if you are finding the change in YouTube's notifications as annoying as I have, or as I am, then there's a good place to find it. Also, I post all the astrology videos that are like weather reports and discussing what's going on in the skies at the moment that I find. And sometimes I post other readers, so come and join the Facebook fun. It's always good to receive the odd comment or two. Well, I say this page has been running for a year. I think I've had 2 comments on it. So if you are there on my Facebook page, because there's at least 100 of you, say hello. And there's a link also down there for AstroSeek, which is where you can get yourself a free birth chart. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about your moon and your rising sign, you need your place and your time of birth as well as your date. And then you can work out what's coming over the horizon. That's your rising sign, where the moon was, get all those details. But I imagine if you're watching one of my videos, you already know all of that stuff, so I'll shut up about it. Now, the other thing is the Sabian symbol for this degree, which I'm on completely the wrong page of my little notepad. Bear with me. Now, the Sabian symbol for 25 to 26 degrees Virgo is a boy with a censer serves the priest near the altar. Now, if you look into ritual tradition, the whole purpose of the censer is to hold frankincense, which is to raise the vibration, clear away negative energies, but normally there's something else will do that first. And the frankincense is there to raise the vibration up, to help the priest link into the divine. That's where that tradition of the censer comes from. So that boy is doing an incredibly important job. He may not be the person that the spotlight is on, but he would be missed if he wasn't there. So I really like that idea of the, again, it's clearing. What was it that the Chandra symbol said? It was, you are overwhelmingly convinced that there must come this cleaning up and clearing up. And I must admit, I've been going around doing a bit of spring cleaning. Okay, it's a bit late for spring. But there is that feel in the air of, don't need that no more. Don't need that no more. Need to get rid of that. Need to put that in its proper place. Let's go and sort my filing out so I know where everything is when I need it. All those sort of, not I've had the time to do it, but that's what, piles have been shifting around my house to different shelves. Let's put it that way. So, in summary, I've probably waffled too much. Yeah, 14 minutes in. Let's get on with the card reading. Oh, and plus that Facebook link. I also put my Linktree link down below, but that Facebook page, there's an inbox there. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, then October, I have a lot more time, and you can also expect to see a lot more videos. So I'm looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'll bring up the cards. Okay then, water signs: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising. And hello again if you've just joined us after the timestamp. There's a very, very clear message here with these cards. We start with St. Barbara with the logo of empowerment. Now, St. Barbara syncretizes to Shango with the Orishas in Santeria. So it's almost like there is insight coming like lightning. That's the first thing I get from this card. And this is all about spiritual insight and using that spiritual insight. This is going smack bang down, if I get my teeth in, the spiritual hocus pocus healing. We're going full woo woo, and that's not a bad thing, because it depends how you manifest that in your life. And one thing that this Blossoms of the Sky Dancer card from the Kuan Yin Oracle talks about is allowing it all to unfold naturally. As I say, St. Barbara is, let me just grab her from the book, because she was somebody who, she became a Christian although her father didn't want her to, and therefore lived by Christian philosophies. Being a princess, she kept sneaking out of her castle or what have you, and giving stuff to poor people. When suitors would come to marry her, she would reject them all until her father lost his patience, locked her in the dungeon and tortured her until she would agree to marry whoever. But apparently, miraculously, her wounds healed overnight every night. So when each wound healed miraculously overnight, her father killed her himself with a sword. In a twist of cosmic vengeance, Dioscorus was soon after struck by lightning and his body incinerated by flame. So there is, she has this sense of electricity, she has this sense of fire, she's definitely got this sense of lightning, hence the syncretization with Shango. And what the book says here is that emotionally she recharges your emotional battery to take the reins of your soul's path here and now. You are being reminded of your individual spirit and your right to lead your own life by your own heart's desires. And this is what this bringer of change card is talking about as well, because the thing is, you didn't come here to fit in. You didn't come here to make more of the same. You came here to make the world different. So your eyes are going to be opened. Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. Your eyes are going to be opened in some way, shape or another. Your eyes are, maybe that is the full onset of clairsentience, clairvoyance, divination, which is what Pruflas here is about as well. And Pruflas, his presence indicates that whatever you are working on, it will be some form of revolution, some form of dramatic change. But as I was looking at these cards, I was thinking, oh, there's a danger here of disappearing up your own backside, because you have this new insight that strikes you like lightning, and you are given a platform to share this insight. Great. I'm a water sign. In fact, I'm a double water sign. So, yeah, I can take this. It's not talking about me, honest. You'll get given a platform to share this wisdom. Now, whether this is in your personal life or your work life, or like Mr. Double Water Sign here, a YouTube channel, you have to be aware of the danger of disappearing up your own backside. You get so taken up. Okay, this is how I want to say it. This wasn't how I was thinking it, but this is how I want to say it. You are so taken up with, one, the message, and two, that you are the carrier of the message, two separate things there, that you can be just a slight bit overbearing with it. Now, I can tell you of several healers, pagan priests, ritual magicians, and quite a few folk who, because of their gifts, and a lot of them had really good gifts, they had a lot to contribute, but they believed themselves to be something. Oh, now I've got to say this so carefully, but they believed themselves to be something special. And just as much as each and every individual one of us are special, they're not special. We all can tap into our own natural talents, as according to what we decided before we came here, how our bodies are worked up, our training, our diet, what you're exposed to. There's 101 different factors. But they believe themselves to be more special than everybody else. And while on one hand they would be saying they're trying to lift everybody else out of the lower vibrational spiritual morass that we all find ourselves entangled in here, they wanted to do it from the position of a platform, that they were elevated above those that they were trying to bring up. I do know of one healer who said that she was so gifted and worked with such a high vibration, that was why bad things happened to her. When the truth of the matter is, bad things happened to her because she couldn't plan worth toffee and was careless and arrogant. Bear in mind, there are also lots of healers and pagan priests and ritual magicians who are not those people. They are a rarity, and if you've mixed in the hippie woo-woo community, we all know at least one of them. We all know one, if not more. And so, but the other thing, I was thinking of that, and then I overturned this card, Secret Temptation, being led astray. So what I have just talked about was leading yourself astray, which again, that's straight after the Chariot. If you look at how the tarot comes along with this, we start with the Ace of Cups, a wonderful new dream coming into your life, or new love, much the same sort of thing. And then what is insisted on is balance. We have the Temperance card here, and I'm really aware this time of the dance of the sun and the moon here, which makes me think, because if you look, that's what he's juggling with his hands. So it makes me think that this is something that will come in waves like the tides. This is something that will have peaks and flows, just as the ebbs and flows, sorry. Peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, just as the moon waxes and the moon wanes, because you definitely do have a great message and a lot of joy to give that message to the world, to effect change around you. But what that Blossoms of the Sky Dancer card is saying is, allow those things that need to be changed to come to you. Do not go seeking them. You will have the greatest effect by being receptive and just simply by being you. Maybe a new you, maybe an unveiled you that's been there for a good while. But do not let anybody else take advantage of this process neither. Yeah, you don't want to disappear up your own backside, but that's my own personal bugbear, as you can tell. But the card also risks now. The card also mentions about, where have we got it? Right now, the truth is yet to be revealed. Be cautious in lending any goods you wish to have returned, as deception is around every corner. Be mindful of any agreements or contracts at this time. Yeah, because immediately what happened to the astrologer Walter Mercado springs immediately to mind. He lost, thanks to his agent, well, his agent got him to sign a contract that involved Walter losing the right to his own name. Never mind all of his talents and all of his work. So he stopped working for 10 years until he was freed from this contract through the courts. But those were 10 years where the world lost Walter Mercado, where he could have been carrying on the phenomenal effects that he was having on the Spanish-speaking world, and he wasn't there. Because he couldn't be there, because his very likeness was owned not by him but by somebody else. So it's really doomsaying, this, isn't it? But yeah, you do have to be there is a risk of a disruptive element coming in that is not you. Now, yes, you are there to be disruptive. There is no doubt that you are there to be disruptive. But I do feel that you are there to be disruptive gently, subtly, sort of creating the change in people where by your own example or by the little things that you say, not by going, I have been contacted by Ashtar Command or the Holy Order of Dominions, I think, if I've got my angels right. You know, or the Order of the Seraphim or what have you, and they are saying this and I am the messenger of this. No, it's a lot more subtle than that. Revelations like that are for you. I've not had the choir of seraphim talk to me that I know of. I did have a weird experience with an angel channeling once through a medium friend of mine. But, you know, when those sort of messages come through, as earth-shattering as they are for your development in your space. And then you can then explain what you've learned from them, but it's up to other people whether it is appropriate for them to learn the same things or something different from what you have experienced. But there is that danger of, there's also that danger of idleness and gluttony. That's the other thing with the Secret Temptation card, because it goes into alcohol, drug addiction, even food addiction. You know, it shows the example of that. Another thing it shows is the potential presence of a third party in a relationship or interference by a third party, but that's not what the rest of these cards aren't even mentioning about that, so I don't think that particular meaning is in the slightest bit relevant. But I do get the distinct feeling of you being, well, watched like a hawk, if you look at the two hawks there. But the hawk also being the symbol of Horus. So, Horus. So, yeah, there's a fine line that you need to walk. You need to go with the balance. You need to not go with the flow, but go with the tides. Surge forward at the right moment and relax at the right moment, but maintaining that receptive aspect where those things that you can change, you know, think about that prayer of God, what's it called? But, you know, give me the strength to change the things I can, the wisdom to accept the things that I can't, and, you know, the strength to accept the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. There's let the things that need to experience that change come to you, because if they need that change and you can provide that change, they will come to you. But there's also a lot of change going on personally for your own personal development. But there is a risk if you get too carried away, especially by someone else trying to publicize you or exploit you in some way, shape or form, because I really am reminded of the whole Walter Mercado story with that card. But it can end badly, Five of Pentacles. But it could also be that done the right way, you can be that guiding light that the Five of Pentacles can represent, because after all, you are here to celebrate your humanity while you are here. Yeah, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, absolutely, but we are also human beings. That's the point of us having that spiritual experience, being spirit coming down, having the human experience, that we are human beings. We can have a wonderful effect on the world around us, or an incredibly detrimental one. Now let's have a look at Proofless, also known as Bufas, and I think that's why I was a bit stumped, because I know Bufas, I don't know Proofless. Originally dwelt at the site of the Tower of Babylon, where she took the form of a bright pillar of flame or a figure with an owl's head against a background of flames. So again, we've got that fire symbolism coming in. I really do feel, I didn't see anything in the fire reading that I recall, but I did that yesterday. I really do feel that working with fire, your water with someone else's fire, stands to create a really good team here. She's the enemy of complacency and arrogance, and likes to stir up conflict and war, giving generous aid to the side that she favours. Her appearance heralds revolution, an upheaval that may be alarming and cause some grief, but can lead to good in the end. But with this balance, there's the, yeah, you want to create the upheaval at the right moments as the situation allows, is probably not the right word, but opens the door to, I think is the better way of put it. So there's a lot of development for you, water signs, a lot of personal development here, but also a lot of being able to, if you look at the image of a grid worker, ground the celestial energies into the planet and into the society around us. But for you to be able to do that, first you need to be able to access the celestial energies. So, you know, there's, like I say, personal attainment, then effect on your environment around you and on the people environment, but let things come to you. But just take people who are wanting to help you with a pinch of salt, because you don't want to end up like Walter Mercado. So that's fantastic. Now we've got the World at the bottom of the deck. So one, showing the strength of the effect that you can have, and two, again, the plans are, I feel your plans are already there. Like I just said for, oh, who did I just do? Air. You know what you're going to be doing. So crack on and do it, because the insights that you require are coming along. That's really nice. That is a really, really nice time. Bear in mind, this could be 6 months, 12 months. Achita Bhava says Virgo, you know, the year can get defined from Virgo season to Virgo season. But certainly from a Virgo new moon to a Virgo full moon. So we're looking towards Pisces season. That is really nice. That's a really nice reading. So, that's it. That's all I've got to say, water sign. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, have fun, enjoy. Yes, let your voice be heard, but at the right moments. And there's not going to be a lot of readings this October. If you saw my channel update, this September, this month. If you saw my channel update, next month normal service is resumed, and you should see all of my different sorts of readings all appearing all over again. All right, cheers.